Satire. Satire is a way of making fun of people by using silly or exaggerated language. Moreover, it is a humorous way of criticizing people. Satire is used in different works of literature to reveal foolishness, shortcomings, or vices in humans, organizations, or even governments. It uses sarcasm, ridicule, or irony. Poets and writers satirize to expose the faults, follies, and vices of others. In satire, we can find the elements of humor, comedy, graveness, darkness, and tragic. It is written to bring awareness among people. Let's see the types of satire. Eurasian Satire, Jovian Satire, Manipul Satire. Eurasian. It is related to the Roman poet Horace. It is gentle and typically comic form of satire. Its purpose is to entertain the readers. This type of satire makes fun of things in a soft or even loving manner. It's usually a form of parody that is intended to make people think. In this type of satire, humor is used in a very light-hearted way, and it is the most sympathetic towards its subject. However, we can say this type of satire aims to promote morals and teach lessons. Jovian. It is named after the Roman satirist Jovian. Jovian satire tends to be harsh, bitter, and even obscene. We can say that it is the opposite of Eurasian satire, which mocks its targets in a more gentle way. This type of satire attacks a single target in a harsh and rude way. The most common form of this satire is political satire, which attacks on politicians. However, we can say this form is more aggressive and irritating and provocative but less entertaining. It carries a more brooding and gruesome tone. The third type of satire is Manipul. It is derived from the philosopher Manipus. This type of satire is similar in harshness and ruthlessness to Jovian, but it attacks a more general target. An example is religious satire, which attacks sacred figures or religious beliefs. However, we can say this type of satire targets mental attitudes and viewpoints rather than individuals. It is worldwide satire. Here we find both elements, serious and comic also. There are many Manipul satirists who often target what they see as harmful attitudes such as racism or just arrogance. Now look at the important points. It makes fun of a person, idea, or institution. Its purpose is not just entertain, but also to inform or make people think. Moreover, it persuades the readers to see their points of view through the force of laughter. There is another point, that is, writers use satire to expose the issues and critique certain elements of society because they hope to change the public mind. We might find satire in different subjects. For instance, cartoons, magazines, TV shows, movies, dramas, and so on. Most political cartoons we see every day in newspapers and magazines are examples of satire. These cartoons criticize some recent actions of political figures in a comical way. Some shows on televisions are also the examples of satire, such as The Daily Show. Satire can be found in poetry also. Here is an example of very famous poem of Alexander Pope, that is The Rape of the Lock. Pope's remarkable poem is a social satire. We can find the brilliant and humorous satire on the aristocratic society of the England. The principal targets of the satire in the poem are the fashionable and aristocratic ladies and gentlemen of the time. In this poem, poet satirized the follies and vices of the aristocratic life of the 18th century. Here is another example, that is Patriot into Traitor by Robert Browning. In this poem, poet also satirized and revealed the faults of the others. We can also find satire in novel. Here is a very famous example of Jonathan Swift novel, that is Gulliver's Travels. Gulliver's Travels is a satirical novel of the 18th century of English society. It reflects conflicts in British society in the early 18th century. It reveals a society with superficial ideas of dignity and nobility. We can say that Gulliver's Travels is a pact with satire in many ways. I hope this video has helped you to understand more about satire. Thanks for watching.